from the internet. It's ZN Live.
Brother Live.
That's right. And today we are joined by Jesus, who you know, and Kirill, all the way from Kiev in Ukraine. Kirill has been working with us for several years now, and he joined us a few months ago, over a month ago, for our EU influencer event by driving all the way from Kiev to collect things and bring them back to Ukraine. So first of all, Kirill, how are you? Is your family and friends safe in Kiev for the moment?
Hi everyone, nice to be here to speak to you. And first of all, I would like to say that even having such events on Monday this week, we are okay. Our infrastructure in a country has been attacked, and we had a lot of problems with electricity across the country in all big cities. But last 2 days we have no issues. So electricity is stable in Ukraine, but it was huge attack, and especially me and my friends, my family are staying safe, good. So it's, and we are not. We are feeling actually okay in terms of continuous of this war, and we feel like more hungry for our victory because of such events.
So we have Nicolas Charlotte saying hi, Kirill, and Liora, who's also watching. Hi, Liora, saying happy you're okay. And I think, as everyone, obviously the attacks were extremely shocking, and since we know you so well, it brings this even closer to us. So it's a really pretty devastating event. Now, you had just been on a very long journey, all the way from Kiev to Germany, then to Brussels. So how long was the trip in total? How much did you drive across Europe?
In terms of time, I don't even know, to be honest. It's about days, obviously. In terms of kilometers, it's about 5,500 kilometers in total. Yeah, it was a long trip, which I made a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, that was hard for me in terms of driving for so long. But it worth it, definitely, to meet people, to talk to people, and to bring some goods to our country for our people here.
So you were driving a truck. You were driving by yourself, basically, through all the driving you did alone?
Yes, exactly. That was the case. I've been driving from Kiev by van. It's a small van. It's not a truck, like kind of big one. It's kind of regular van, and I've been driving to Brussels, and it took me 3 days actually. From Kiev to Brussels, it's 2,100 or 200 kilometers actually, and yeah, it's been 3 days driving to Brussels only, and yeah, and then in Brussels I had participation on EU influencer event. I'm really thankful for allowance to be there, to be part of this event, to meet people, and to be able to talk to people, to answer any questions, and to talk about our situation, and in general to thank people as well, because we in Ukraine we feel huge support of European Union citizens. I mean, not only material support, not only financial support, we feel mental support, which is, I believe, more important to understand that we are on the right side, basically. Because for a lot of people across the world, it's not that easy to understand what is going on actually in Ukraine and why we've been attacked. What is the reasons? And as I see a lot of people mentally involved in this situation, even some of them even since 2014, when actually this war started by the annexation of some regions. And yeah, so as I said, it's pretty important to feel understanding from people who is involved, who is trying to support, who is trying to help us to finish this. Actually, not just to finish, not just to stop war, because for us it's a question of the existence. So for us, it's more important to win this war, and I hope it will be soon.
We all do, as Lior said, you're not alone. And Daniel's also saying, so nice to see you, Kirill. I think, for us, it was great to see you in person. Obviously, we've been in touch virtually, but the fact that we could connect with you, that you could meet the team, and that you were there on a moment where we brought a lot of people together who also have quite an impactful voice. So I think that was a really special moment to get to hear your story, and also for some people to be able to support you in a small way through some donations. And I just want to give a shout out to Teresa, who kindly helped, as well as the people who also donated anonymously to your cause. So can you tell us a little bit about what you were able to collect I think in Germany? You collected some goods which you brought back to Kiev, to Ukraine.
Yeah, actually, that was the point of this trip, also to visit Tübingen, which is the city of the west of the south part of Germany. It's pretty small city, about 100,000 citizens, but I would say it's really student oriented and medical oriented city. And we have our friends there who are living for last few years. Actually, we've been studying in one university in Kiev, and they are living right now there, and they are collecting any goods which they are receiving from German people, and there are a lot of medic support, and they've been able to collect some medical tools, which I grab and bring to Ukraine, and a lot of boxes with medical support. And especially, I would like to notice that there were 2 boxes for children hospitals in Ukraine. It's for Zaporizhia region. For our children, it's pretty expensive tools. I mean, medical tools, and that was really great. And a lot of, I would say, regular medical stuff for our people from the occupied territories, for our people who is defending our territories as well. So yeah, some food, some bags, some regular stuff, but mostly it was medical support, I would say.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's amazing, and I mean, congratulations on making the time and having the courage to do that, because obviously, it's a long trip. It's challenging, and as we saw on Monday, you just don't know what's going to happen next. So it's a tremendously challenging situation. I see the flag behind you, as well as the EU influencer hashtag. So you brought it all the way back. Hope it didn't take too much space in the truck, but at least you have it with you. And during that event, actually, we had different ways to fundraise. We had a box where people put some cash, which we gave you. Somebody made a donation, as well as we also had something in the metaverse, where we were selling NFTs. Now we're still waiting for that to get more income, but we like to be one step ahead at ZN, so we like to try different things. And of course, for that, Jesus has been the pioneer of virtual reality at ZN. And basically, he is continuing. You were there last week in Prague, talking to Yuspa about the new project we're going to do in virtual reality. And I also heard that we that you've got a new gadget, or at least that you've ordered for a new gadget. And Kirill, I'll come back to you in a second.
Yeah, actually, well, first of all, I have to say, well, I see Kirill almost every day because we collaborate together all the time. But it was really cool to have him actually here in this room, so together for a while we were discussing all that, so that he could see the background, understanding actually where the background is in the real context. So it was great to see you here, Kirill, and it's not the it's just the first of many of moments we will see each other. As we say, one day we will have a beer together when the victory is there. So it was great to have you here. And then, yes, as you're saying, Phil, you know that I'm obsessed and really passionate about all the metaverse and the virtual reality and all the things that we're living today. During the EU Influencer, we were there with our space, and last week I was on EUSPA because we're preparing a great project. We're going to help them to get on the first step on the metaverse, meaning that we're creating some virtual tools that is going to kind of serve to bring all the activities that the EUSPAs are doing on many levels, on how actually they're helping us on the day-to-day life. So to explain actually how is that impacting our life through a kind of virtual visit, where we can see even elements that we can interact with, satellites and a planet and all that, something quite cool. All this obviously is going to happen thanks to the color pass-through. This is a very technical thing, but actually, you know that the virtual cameras have the virtual headsets have cameras around. So, okay, the new Oculus Pro that was presented some days ago on the MetaQuest have a color pass-through. I know that Pico also has it, but actually this one is amazingly because it's also 3D. 3D pass-through, because there are two cameras. Well, anyway, very technical. The point is that we're going to do it through those headsets. Okay, I was very excited on Tuesday to see all the innovations that Meta was proposing on the terms and the launch of this new headset. I myself, as a them, we always have one step ahead, and we always want to be testing all these kind of things. So me myself, I already ordered the headset just as the first mini was announced. So I think I will be one of the first Belgians with those headsets. If people are there, you can comment if you also are getting it. It's purely it's more for the professional area. It's not for normal users. So for the end consumers, this one is still very valid and great for gaming and all that. But for professional point of view, we'll have. I see the comment of Nico saying that he needs another one too. Okay, we will think about that. Maybe you can get one of these. No, it's a joke. So I'm very glad. I'm very glad that we're having that one, because there are plenty in terms of professional point of view. There are plenty of things. They have made now a connection with Microsoft, for example. So in terms of working on the day-to-day, I think we're going to see how the headsets are starting to be on the professional environments more and more, because there are more and more tools. For example, there is also an agreement with Adobe, something that I'm looking forward, because with Adobe, then you will be able to be creating, testing, and doing 3D modeling with the glasses. Already you can do it with Gravity Sketch, but to see what they can do with this new agreement with Adobe. So voila, very exciting moments that we're living. As soon as I get it by the end of the month, I will come again and show the glasses, maybe to make some kind of videos, and I will show also from time to time how we're doing with this development of the project at the user, because I think it's going to be something quite advanced, you see, because we have a lot of hope on this project, because it looks quite on the top and very innovative, you see. So, and that's where we want to be.
So Lior is asking, what's the best headset for private usage? Is it still the previous Oculus?
So this one for private one, this one is still very good. It's true that there are the Pico 4 is there, is from the owners of TikTok. It's the same kind of group. But the point is that the Pico has the color pass-through and all that, but in terms of software and connections, I think still Meta is doing is a bit a step forward. You see, so in terms of when you enter the kind of tools and elements that you can still do and the possibilities, I think the Quest 2 is still a very good one. And they didn't announce yet the Quest 3. We know that it will come. So the fact that they didn't announce means that still there's a long run with the Quest 2. So still the Quest 2 is a great headset. Yeah.
So we have a lot of
Yes.
consumers. I feel Lira should join the show. Just
Yes.
click on the link.
Yeah.
You can come and you can tell us.
Yeah, the Quest Pro is around 1,800 euros. So it's really expensive. It's more for professional, as we said. It's for the day-to-day use for consumers to play with it and all that. Still, this one is a great one, and I think there will be a lot of development done for this. So the other one is more for starting to bring the headset to the work environment. Instead of buying a computer, you buy something like this. So, yeah.
Okay, so we have time for a few recommendations. Jingle. We have to hit that note when we say the word recommendations. It goes straight into the jingle. Anyway, so Jesus, have you got some recommendations for us this
week? Yes, I have two recommendations. So audiovisuals recommendation. The first one, as we're talking, to give a bit of context to what we're talking about the Meta, is the Meta Connect that happened last Tuesday. So I suggest the people to go and check the videos, because are still on, I think on Facebook. You can find them very easily. If not, we will put the link to understand what are the new things and the possibilities of this headset. As I say, it's going to be more for the work environment. So I suggest to have a look at that. From the talk we had with Kirill, if you, Kirill, permit me, I would like to, because for me it was very illustrative and to understand the context of the situation, is the film Donbass, because through that film I understood at the beginning of the invasion of Ukraine by the Russian, it was quite, I don't know, clarifying a lot what was the situation there. Obviously, things have changed a lot from the moment of the movie and today, but it's a good way of looking back to see what actually was happening before the invasion. So, voilà.
Okay. So Daniel is saying, I'm seeing a strong ad campaign now happening in Meta in relation to VR. Totally is very close to reality. Yeah, and I think the thing is that I think Meta still has to find the best way to tell the story of what VR is for. I think they have a lot of technology, a lot of things are changing, but I think consumer acceptance still needs to be, will probably take some time before it becomes mainstream, but it's on its way, and whether it's a few years or more, it will at some point be transformative. Kirill, have you got any recommendations for us?
I might say maybe not recommendations, but maybe a few notes. I would like to say that a lot of people, as I see a lot of people in European Union, are worrying about the situation in Ukraine since this Monday, and about the electricity, about everything all infrastructure in Ukraine, and basically a little bit history on that topic. Actually, before the invasion, like 1 or 2 days before, on February, Ukraine has been connected to the European Union electricity network for the first time, and it was really huge change in terms of connection Ukraine to the European Union from different angles. And during all that period, especially as I remember, maybe somewhere in August or even it started in July, Ukraine started to sell electricity to the European Union. And also it's a important question, what's going on with this practice after those events on Monday this week. And I must say that Ukraine announced right after those attacks that we are stopping selling electricity to European Union. I don't know for what period of time, because as I see, we need to arrange our problems after those attacks. And I must say that currently in Ukraine, situation seems to be pretty good. A lot of people work on those problems, fixing those problems, just to balance the whole network of electricity in the country. And I hope we will get back soon to this practice of selling and be integrated with European Union electricity network. So I must say that people in Ukraine still feel that pretty confident in what we are doing, what we want, and how we live, actually, with new normality every day, which comes to us every day almost. But there is no panic, there is no angry. We just live our life and we just do our job. Like, I mean, all of Ukrainians are doing their job on all the places. It's not about only defense. It's about the mobilization of the whole country in different terms. So just want to mention that we are not struggle here. We feel support of all people from European Union and actually from other countries too, especially from United States, from Canada, from Australia, from other countries, and we feel the power that we can win, and it will be pretty soon. So don't worry, just stay with us and continue to be with us. It's really helpful. And thank you for
thank you for sharing that, Kirill. And I think people are really very impressed with the resilience and the determination of the Ukrainian people. I think that's what's changed the entire trajectory of this war. It's the commitment and the fact that people just decided that this was just not going to happen. And we all hope that that this war is ended as soon as possible, and that Ukraine gets to restore its full integrity. I think with those words, I want to say thank you for joining us. Thank you for all the work you do with us. For people who want to continue to support Ukraine, please look at your local initiatives and donate in kind, support in whatever way you want. If you want to support Kirill for his next trip, let us know, and we will check and do whatever we can. So thank you very much. Have a great weekend, and we will see you all next Friday at around 2 p.m. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.